Hello everyone, I'm Donald Wartime Denoyer here at Wartime Fitness, and once again I am the commissioner of the Combat Pugilist. Today we're going to be going over a lot of simple techniques that we do, and here to demonstrate along with us is Marine veteran and Combat Pugilist contestant who will be in some of our big shows, Candace. So, we're going to be sitting here going over a lot of these different techniques. I know that we've covered certain techniques before, but I kind of want to get a little bit more in depth, okay? So here we go. All right, so the first technique that we're going to be going over is going to be the parry. Now the parry itself is demonstrated with the combat pugil sticks, okay? But just imagine yourself in a combat environment. Imagine back in the day when soldiers would just say fixed bayonets and then they would go at it. That's the purpose of this, okay? So, meaning red, this is where your bayonet would be fixed. Black, this is your buttstock of your weapon, okay? So, the parry will be the first one. When your opponent, when the enemy or whoever it is that's attacking you, and they would come in and they would be thrusting with their weapon. Now imagine, this is a long fixed bayonet, okay? You would have to parry in order to be able to come with your strike. So what's a parry in martial arts? That would be a parry, parrying here, going up, down, however you're going to do it. It's kind of the same kind of concept, okay? As they're thrusting with the pugil stick, you're stepping and you're parrying, okay? And that's what Candace is going to demonstrate right now, all right? Now, I want you to see how easy she's going with that. There's not a whole lot that you need to do. The movements are small, okay? They're right here. What happens when you see Floyd Mayweather when he fights? Shoulder, right? All it does is deflect it just enough. You don't want your movements to be over-exaggerated, opening yourself up to a worse attack than what you were going to be getting in the first place, okay? So, if I'm coming at her and I'm thrusting, okay, she doesn't need a whole lot, all right? You don't need a whole lot to actually do it, okay? So I'm going to go at full speed with her, and I'm going to show you exactly what a parry would look like at full thrust, okay? All right? She's not allowing me to get close enough to where I can do any damage to her, okay? So that right there is the parry, the high block. So the high block in itself is just like what it sounds like. It's a high block. Martial arts, you're stepping in, you got that high block, right? It's the same thing with the pugil stick. So, high block, okay? This right here is going to be used in a few different ways. So imagine again, the bayonet. You have the knife at this end, butt stroke on this end, right? So, I'm coming in, and I'm coming with a downward slice, or I'm coming in with, an overhead butt stroke, or, any one of those. This is where the high block is going to come into place, okay? As it's coming towards you, it can even be used with a straight-on jab, or, one of those type of movements coming in, because it's going to come up. So, I'm going to be throwing an attack at Candace, and she's going to be showing you the high block, okay? Now, you see, she's not putting a whole lot of extra into that. She's just blocking it just enough, okay? So as I'm sitting here and I'm coming down, she's blocking it just enough. And if I'm coming down here to throw another strike, she's not overextending and she's not putting too much into it. It's allowing her to be able to throw her strikes or any of the combination that she needs to do. So I'm going to go at full speed and I'm going to show you what a high block looks like. There you go. That's your high block. And now we're going to be showing you the low block. It's basically a high block, but we're doing it low. It has the same kind of concept to it, okay? As the strike is coming into you, you're just blocking low, and you're keeping the strike away from you. but you're not overextending. Remember, every single technique that you're throwing, you don't want to overextend, because just like in martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, or any one of those, if you overextend, you get yourself in trouble, okay? So, again, here is our bayonet. There is your butt stroke, okay? Or here's the butt of your combat pugil stick. Now, if I'm coming in low to strike, she's going to come in low to block, okay? If I'm coming in low here, she can come in low to block. Now look what happens. She's only going to go as low as she needs to go, okay? If I'm right here and she just needs to get me, she could parry and move the strike completely out of the way, okay? So, again, low block is no different than the high block. It just depends on the technique or, you know, the strike that's being thrown at you. So I'm going to show you full speed what a low block looks like, all right? So I'm going to come in with my bayonet first. Come in, block, okay? Obviously, she's going to be able to come and strike me with the butt of the weapon, and then after that, she can come and slash, okay? Or if I'm going to go ahead and butt stroke, okay, here, she's going to block me there. Same kind of concept. Even if I come here, she's able to actually move up and block, okay? And it puts her in a better position than anybody else would be, because she has, you know, these right here. It's all about controlling and taking care of the technique as it's being thrown at you. So that's it. That's your low block. Side block. So we worked on our high block, our low block, and now we're going to be working on the side block. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Blocking from the side. Not a whole lot you have to do with your hands. You don't have to. A lot of people think that you have to switch and come here and switch and come here. You don't. Once you've got your proper fighting stance, all you're going to do is you're going to side block, okay? Side block is to defend yourself against your slash, your jab coming in with the bayonet, side strokes, hooks, you know, all that stuff. So it's going to defend against all of these, okay? Your side stroke. So let me show you as we demonstrate. As I come in and I step, all right, I'm using the butt of my weapon, okay, which we're calling the butt. She blocks. I step back. I step in to slash, and she blocks, okay? So now I'm going to speed it up, and I'm going to show you a strike to her left and then a strike to her right, all right? And that's going to show you blocking on both sides. Side block. And there you go. There's your side block. Horizontal butt stroke. This technique is a power technique, and it's used to put your opponent down. It's used to hurt with the movement that you're throwing, and it's almost like you're throwing a hook, okay? But you've got that little bit of extension in there as you're bringing it across, okay? This movement right here is going to open you up to so many other techniques that you can do. And we're going to be getting into that as we continue to move on, okay? So it's going to come straight across. And that technique is one that she's going to demonstrate on the bag. And it's a powerful technique that is used to actually maim or to disable your opponent or to put them down, okay? So go ahead and demonstrate the horizontal butt stroke. Okay, so there you go. And one of the techniques that we did earlier, which was one of the side blocks, that's a very good technique to use to defend against this. So if you're watching these videos and going along, and you really need to practice those, because these are going to be some of the most dominating techniques that are going to be thrown at you. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your horizontal butt stroke, a vertical butt stroke, or as some of you might know it, an uppercut. So as a fighter, or as somebody, you know, you watch boxing a lot, and you see how they throw that uppercut, okay? It comes from a position of strength. It comes from a position of balance. And as you throw it, you're engaging your whole body, okay? It's going to be the same way. The vertical butt stroke itself is thrown no different, okay? So you are coming from here and delivering that strike. It's a very, very powerful technique, but you can also get yourself in trouble. So you need to be careful that you don't overextend and you're throwing it properly, okay? So it's going to come from here and it's going to come up. From here, up. Okay? Candace is here and she's going to demonstrate. And there you go. That's the vertical butt stroke, the smash. Once again, I have Candace with us, and I would say that this is probably one of the most important techniques that you can do. Not only is it kind of an awkward technique when you're fighting, okay, because you've got your hook, your uppercut, you've got your overhand, you've got all these different, moves. But if you don't do this properly, you're going to leave yourself open. So, if I'm throwing what we went over, the vertical butt stroke, as I'm throwing that vertical butt stroke, look at the position that I'm left in. So, if I throw it and I miss, what does that do? It leaves me open for the smash, okay? If I'm coming across with the horizontal butt stroke, it leaves me open for the smash, okay? It's not a powerful technique, but it's a technique that will not only distract your opponent, but allow you to slash, come here, over the top, slash down, and then throw the other techniques that we've been going over. Okay, so the smash is really an important technique because if you throw it properly, it's going to open you up for a whole lot more. And once again, Candace is here. She's going to show you the smash. And so, as light as that looks, she's just demonstrating the technique to show you where it's going to go. So just imagine if I'm sitting here and she goes to throw, say, a horizontal butt stroke, and I'm kind of moving out of the way, and as I'm turning, I'm opened up for the smash, okay? That in itself, when you're being smashed, and you have all of that extra room, that's what it is right there. So the technique is a devastating technique if you use it properly. Candace, great job with that. There you go. There's the smash. The slash. This is a follow-through technique that can be used with so many different other techniques. Your vertical butt stroke, your horizontal butt stroke, all these techniques can kind of be joined in together, but that slash is going to be really important, okay? So, once again, if you are throwing any one of the butt strokes that we were going over, and you follow it with the slash, okay, again, remember, this is your bayonet. This is the part of, this is the deadly part of your weapon, okay? That's where the red is. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create that injury or that damage that's going to allow you to get the upper hand. So, again, here, follow through, and that's going to be your slash. So, Candace, demonstrate that slash for us. So, Candace, now I want you to step in, and I want you to slash that bag and put some power into it. And there you go. That is your slash, a thrust. All right? Now, the thrust in itself is no different in martial arts, considered a front snap kick, a push kick, or simply your jab, okay? And that's what you're going to be doing with the combat pugil stick. Now, I want you to think about it. When we're in a wartime situation, once again, and you were told to fix bayonet. You're out of ammunition. There's nothing left for you. You fix bayonet. This right here is a telltale sign that it's time for you to actually go to war. Now you get to go and fight and show all the techniques that you've been learning and what makes you a soldier. Now you're going to take that and you're going to run towards the enemy. Now, when you sit there and you thrust with this, you know that you are thrusting into your opponent or into the enemy, okay? So that right there, as the jab goes, that's what's going to distance yourself and keep the person away. In boxing, when you're not throwing the jab out, you're allowing them to move forward. So here, as you thrust, there's that distance that we're talking about, okay? You're thrusting that bayonet right into your enemy or your opponent, however you want to look at it, okay? So it's a very important technique that you throw, and if you don't throw it right, it's not going to give you the proper effect that you're looking for. So here to demonstrate the thrust, once again, is Candace. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that is your thrust. The combat ready position is exactly what it sounds like. As a fighter, and you're sitting there and you're ready to go, you're combat ready, okay? And the pugil stick, which you've probably been seeing Candace do throughout every single one of these videos, that is the combat ready position. So, if you look at her, she is ready. She is in the position to throw her strikes. She's in the position to come at you with strikes. She's in the position to defend and offend, okay? Be offensive and defensive. And that's the position that she wants to be in. So, combat ready is the only position that you really want to be in when you're getting ready to fight and when you're getting ready to go to battle. So, there's a lot of etiquette and there's a lot of sportsmanship and things that we do here at the Combat Pugilist Center when we're training and when we're fighting. So this is a little bit different than if you are fixed bayonet and ready to go. Here, you're taking on an opponent that has equal or semi-equal talent to yourself, and it's mutual combat. But if that opponent of yours was to be hurt or injured or is down and being checked out by a doctor or their cornerman or whoever, you want to make sure that you are not in the combat ready because you're not, ready to attack that person. So you want to show respect. In martial arts, you turn, you bow, you kneel, okay? And even in MMA, you see it, especially when some of these fighters, they hit them and they know that person's out. They won't hit them again. They'll walk away and allow them to be treated, okay? But you want to be still ready, and this is the position that you want to make sure that you're in, okay? Standing there, bayonet up in the air. The red is straight up. The butt of your weapon is down to the ground, which is the way it's supposed to be. And that right there is your position of being ready, but being respectful to your opponent, okay? Some of you in the military might remember coming from here and setting it down, okay? So we're just modifying it a little bit, and we're having it this way, okay? So that right there in itself is just a little bit of a modified position for this. So I want you to remember, if you want to be a combat pugilist fighter, you have to train. You've got to get familiar with this. Make sure you're going over every single one of the techniques on the website. Make sure you're learning them, and make sure you're doing everything you can to make yourself familiar with it. Remember, go out there, work hard, learn your techniques, put in your time, and we'll see you inside the ring.